Let's take a look at the forecast. Appleton meteorologist Maddie Kirker is here. It looks sunny, but you know what? After hearing Adam, I feel like I should talk quietly again.
That's okay with me. We can both talk quietly, especially with the topic I'm about to talk about, and that is how many days it's been since we've had rain. It has been quite the stretch for us, so let's go ahead and talk about how we ended the month of May, and now we're jumping into June. Now, as a matter of fact, looking at the records, we have had 10 consecutive days without rain. Now, that puts us at the driest May since 2021, but really what saved us from that was one day in May for this year. That was on the 12th of May where we got over 2 inches of rainfall. So thankfully we did have that day with all that rain, but my goodness, do we need the rain. Brand new drought monitor came out today, comes out every Thursday, and we are now under the dry category across much of central Ohio. You can see it does include the city of Columbus up in Delaware County, stretching all the way down 23 into Ross County, Pike County, and even into some of the higher terrain. Unfortunately, as we take a look at the drought monitor, things are set to be probably worse over the next few days before it gets better. Precipitation chances are basically zero as we go through not only today, tomorrow, the weekend, and heading into early next week. It would be great if we could get some rain, especially for our farmers, but at least with high pressure over top of us, that's sinking air, it just makes even the heat and humidity that we have out there hard to get thunderstorms to develop. Now, what does that mean or translate to for our allergies? Not looking so great either. Rain helps us as far as getting all of that pollen out of the trees and just right onto the ground. With the way things are looking, our overall allergy index looking pretty bad for our allergy sufferers, still moderate for the trees, grasses, and weeds, and that is for today. Let's talk about high temperatures, because not only are we dry, the allergies are an issue, but now it's going to be really hot, and tomorrow will likely be the hottest day of the year thus far, looking at temperatures climbing into the 90s almost everywhere. Saturday is also looking like a toasty day with highs also in the 90s. Now, with all this heat, humidity, everything, you got to remember the 3 S words. What's that? That's sunscreen, shade, and stay hydrated. 3 simple things so you can enjoy the heat somewhat, because it is a pretty day outside. You can see our 10 TV tower cam, wall-to-wall sunshine, just beautiful as high pressure has set into town. 83 degrees the current temperature in Columbus, and of course you can see the next couple of days we're just going to increase those numbers. We're in the 90s both for Friday and Saturday, but what do we have here? We have a little bit of a cool down. It's actually a cold front that's going to move in. Unfortunately, we'll have the lift we need for rain, but this cold front will have zero moisture to play with. So it looks like even with the cold front moving in, cooling us off, it's not going to help us as far as the drought that we're beginning to see set up here in Ohio. All right, taking a look at our 10-day forecast. Yes, beautiful weather to be out and about as long as you're sticking to that shade. And of course, making sure you're hydrated. 90s for the next 2 days after today. And then we cool off the second half of the weekend. The coolest day this weekend will be Sunday with a high of 83.